How y'all doing, everyone? My name is Tiny Tom, and welcome to my first brand new review, which is 100 line. Now, this is not gonna be a spoiler; it's a spoiler-free review. And by the time I'm recording this, I'm actually almost finished the game. And if you know, you know. But I'm not gonna spoil it for it. But I'm just gonna briefly review this game, how I feel about it overall, without spoiling anything. So you're playing as Takumi Samino, a normal average guy who goes to high school, lives in a mundane life, and talk about his childhood friend named Kara Kashimiya until one day the city was invaded by these aliens or creatures. But guess what? Kara Kashimiya was down to the ground, and Takumi Samino have to protect her no matter what cost. But you may ask how to do so? Well, guess what? We had this robot mascot named Seirei who will give you this weapon called the Infuser. So basically, what you gotta do is stab yourself in the heart to transform and just special powers. So I'm not gonna really into depth about what the infusers are. Basically, is transform you to a class of weapon, a class armor, and transform you to like this unique style of the characters. Anyway, so and not gonna lie, the transformation looks pretty badass. So anyway, so you get this depth information like transformation, like what looks like to infuse with the class armor and class weapon to itself. All the basically all the blood around you to transform. So after the battle, Sari announced that you are going to the academy, and guess what? After you transfer, you are surrounded by other people that you have no idea who they are. And let's just say these characters are very unique to your own way. So after the introductions, Siri introduced himself as the commanding officer in this last event's academy, and basically he tells the students that you're going to defend this academy through 100 days, and not sure why, but you're going to defend the school until day 100, and then by day 100 you're going to leave this academy. And that's pretty much the gist of the story section without spoiling anything, because if I go further beyond, that's going to lead to spoiler territories, which I'm not going to this review at all. But I'm just going to say like why 100 days or why not, because of the story. Like it says 100 line, like this type of thing. I think it's just a Kodaka's been having fun with Uchikoshi as well. So but yeah, so let's get right next to the combat section. There are three types of gameplay. One is exploration, two is going to be the free time, and three is like the main gameplay, which is the battle system or the combat. So we start with the exploration. So what you see right here is like the Mario Party board that you collect materials or items that you need for upgrading your characters before before the battle. So basically, what I'm seeing is you grab the materials. What you see, you got plants, textiles, minerals, and machines, or something like that. So yeah, basically the thing is it's RNG. So whether you get like either the small materials or big materials is up to you. So like, let's say the blue ones is easy to get, but you don't get a lot of materials. But and a purple is the hardest to get. In other words, RNG, like you get big materials, but the consequences is you either lost materials or your party members get damaged. Up next is the free time event. So basically the free time event is you can hang out with your friends, and you can hang out with friends, you grab them gifts and talk to them wherever you feel like you see it. So what you see in the plus sign, like you can hang out with them, and then you basically could gather up some stats, which is like boost up your skills and the abilities for fighting your for the battle. So basically, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, free time, you hang out with your friends, give them gifts, all that stuff. Like, if you know about the Danganronpa style, it's basically like that. So last but not least is the battle system. So basically the battle system is the grid system, a strategy game like, Final Fantasy Tactics or even XCOM for extent. So it's like this grid system you see, and then you can move around up into those blue boxes where you can see right here. And I'm in the VR missions because I don't feel like going back to like the try to select or just go back to the beginning and or I forgot. So just go to the VR. But again, nothing really too spoily. So basically you go click these um right here so that way mostly attack, you got special abilities, defense, and dash. Everyone got defense, stance, and dash. And then each characters have the unique style. Like Takumi, for example, he has like this wide range ability, like slash right here or diagonal. So you can move like either horizontally or vertically, however you feel like it, up to disclosure. So that way you can finish this battle quickly or smoothly, however you feel like. So it's up to you. Now, what you see right here is like a tower defense. So every time you enter the defense battle, you gotta defend this no matter what. Otherwise, it's game over. So let's say Takamaru, for example. So Takamaru is like every time he moves, he gets defense up. So that's what you see is +5 because I keep moving it. So and Hirko is more like, for example, every time she kills an enemy, she gets increased one attack, which is really nice. And then Darumi, she is like interesting character for like little wide range, far range, but the benefit is she is um get your voltage up quickly. So yeah, basically this game is pretty easy to learn. So and then you got 0 AP. So every time you move or what you do, it consumes AP. So if you have 0 AP, you end your turn anyway. And yeah, I can just tell, oh my god, I play real roughly. So that's pretty much the gist of it, of the gameplay. But like I said, the more it might sound complicated, but the more you learn those battles, the easier it will get. All right, let's talk about the presentation. The presentation of this game is actually pretty good. Like, for example, like the art style, it reminds you of a Danganronpa characters. So, if you know Danganronpa characters, aka Rui, who is the main artist of it, this is what it reminds you of. And not gonna lie, I like it. I like the Danganronpa art style because it does remind you of it. It's like nostalgia, and not only that, it's actually pretty good because every time he make the Danganronpa characters designs and all that stuff, it gets better and better. So I really enjoy it. So and look, also the trailer of this game, if you don't remember right, so I think it was like of 2023 or 4. It's been a while, like on the Nintendo Direct. So the trailer release date, the trailer of that game, it's pretty interesting because like it says, like, if I remember right, the trailer says you must defend this academy 100 days from the invaders, or you lose humanity, or type of stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's a pretty gist of it, of the trailer. But thankfully, it's not only Switch; it's also PC. Which, by the way, it's a really good port. I barely had any crashes on it, so that's really good. Of this port of PC port, so that's really good. If you have the Switch, I don't know. Let me know in the comments how the Switch was. So yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, the background of this game, the graphics of this game is pretty solid. Again, shout out to Rui, by the way. And I would say one bad thing, or it's just like a hot take in my opinion. The music. The music of this game is very, very solid. I like the music, don't get me wrong. But if you want to compare it to the Danganronpa games, which it is a Kodaku game, and also Uchikoshi, in my opinion, it's the weakest. And why I say that? It's because like there's some music, like let's say the free time event or the exploration music, or like some, let's say, go this and that. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but I like it, but I'm not gonna like listen to my car or like remember again, like, oh, this moment happens, like this was like, oh, what the hell happened. So like, again, some of the musical bangers, don't get me wrong, but if you don't compare it to like Danganronpa music, like for example, like class trial music and all that stuff, like rebuttal, all that stuff, that's memorable. And sometimes even like the investigation down Danganronpa music is great. It's they're all rememberables anyway. So that's why I say this game, in my opinion, has the weakest if you want to compare it to it. But not saying it's bad. It's just, in my opinion, it's the weakest. And that's really much about the spoiler free review. Like I said, I wish I could go talk to really more about it, but like the more I talk about it, the more it's gonna be a little spoilery. So again, I apologize for that. But that's pretty much the gist of it. So what I recommend this game? Yes, I recommend this game because like the last time I bought it, I think it's like $40, and let's just say it's a huge chunk of game. Like I said, if you know. So if you like Danganronpa games, this is for you. If you like Uchiko's style, this game is also for you. So if you like those two games, which I like, both Danganronpa and Zero Escape series, then this is great for you. Now I will say one important thing before I send you guys off, to play this game or watch other Let's Play. Please, after you finish day 100, continue this game. I'm not gonna tell you why. I'm not gonna tell you like is it really necessary? Well, yes, it's necessary, but like I'm not gonna tell you why. But it's very important that after you finish the game, you see the ending of it. Please continue it because if you want the, it's like saying it's want the true story. Like let's say Fire Emblem like three houses and all that stuff, you have to know all this all of this anyway. So if you want to continue, you have to continue it. Well, I guess that's everything I have to say. So, and hopefully when I finish this game, I'll probably do a spoiler review, which is gonna be way longer than this, I'll tell you that. And maybe a tier list of the characters and hopefully all 100 endings, which is gonna be a nightmare of it. So but yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching this. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.